Okay, so we are just discussing that what are the observations when you're doing electrolysis of copper-2 sulfate using inert electrodes or electrolysis of copper-2 sulfate using copper electrodes, right? So here, see, this is going to be a positive electrode. So positive electrode is going to be anode, right? And this is a negative electrode, and negative electrode is cathode, right? Electrolyte here we have is copper-2 sulfate solution, okay, which is blue in color due to copper ions, right? This is again is anode, so anode, and this is going to be cathode, right? And again that electrolyte is going to be the same in both, right? Now see, Bachu, in this A, like when you are using electrolysis of copper-2 sulfate using carbon or platinum electrode, so what we are going to get at anode and what we are going to get at cathode. First of all, you just have to look at the ions present. So in aqueous copper-2 sulfate, we have copper ions, we have sulfate ions, right? As it is aqueous, so we have hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions, right? So we know at the cathode what we are going to get if you just compare hydrogen and copper, so we are going to have copper ions at the cathode because copper is less reactive. Okay, so I'll say that copper ions will be reduced by gaining 2 electrons to give us copper metal, right? So, and what you are going to observe at the cathode, there is going to be pink or brown solid, right? So there will be deposition of copper at the cathode, right? So we can say that as copper is being deposited at the cathode, so we can say that mass of cathode will increase. Okay? So mass increases. Okay, at the cathode. I hope this thing is clear. So copper ions are being removed from the electrolyte. Okay, what we are going to get at the anode. Now see, we are going to compare sulfate and hydroxide ions. So sulfate ions are polyatomic ions, difficult to be oxidized. So we're going to have hydroxide ions are going to give us oxygen plus 2H2O plus 4 electrons, right? So what will you observe at anode is going to be the bubbles of colorless gas. That's going to be oxygen. And you know the test for oxygen is use a glowing splint. It relights. Okay, so bubbles of colorless gas at anode, right? What will occur, like you can say then, Betes, that hydroxide ions are also removed. Okay, what will remain in the electrolyte? There's going to be an acid will be removed, right? Or even you can say that sulfuric acid will be formed, and color, like you can say blue color of solution will fade, right? And you know that blue color fades because copper ions are being removed. Okay, so this will become, colorless. All right, and the mass of anode remains the same. I hope this is clear. Did you get it till here, Bachu? Is there any problem here? Now, when you are using okay, now when you're using electrolysis, when you're doing electrolysis using copper K electrodes, so beta, now we are not using inert electrodes, right? So what happens? Again, the electrolyte, like the ions are going to be the same, but what happens as soon as you'll pass the current, this copper itself, okay, this anode, copper anode itself is going to be oxidized. This electrode, copper metal, will oxidize, giving copper ions in the electrolyte. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be oxidized at anode. All right. So what happens as it is reacting? So it's being oxidized. So we can say its mass decreases. The mass of anode decreases. Okay. I hope this is clear. What will happen at the cathode? So see, copper ions are, again, you'll compare copper or hydrogen ions. Copper ions can be easily reduced. So at cathode, these copper ions will be reduced. Copper ions will gain electrons to form copper metal at the cathode. Okay. So there will be deposition of copper or pink or brown solid at the cathode. So we can say that again mass of cathode will increase, right? Okay. Now see, blue color will not fade because we are the concentration of copper ions in the electrolyte will remain the same. So blue color will not fade. All right. Did you understand that? Mass of anode decreases, mass of cathode increases when you're using copper electrode, but the blue color will remain the same. Okay?